Hello. Hello. I am so glad you're here. I want to talk about the worst four-letter word for any entrepreneur to say, especially when you're just getting started and people don't know who you are. My name is Linda West and I am a fear crusher. I help people crush their fears. But today I wanted to talk about, again, the worst four-letter word for an entrepreneur to say. And the reason this is, and it's not fear. A lot of people think that fear is the worst word. A lot of people think that can't is the worst word, but that is not it. And I'm going to share with you guys a little story as to why this is the worst four-letter word you can use. Because people's perception of you will be diminished if you use this word. So if you want people to have perception of you to be diminished, use this word all you want. Let me see, I have my notes so I don't miss anything, okay? So the other thing is that people get used to you being this way, this four-letter word. If you guys want to take a guess what it is, post it in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for coming in, and go ahead and put replay in the comments below. There's somebody there, I don't know who it is, but go ahead and tell me who you are. And let's see, another one is that when you use this four-letter word, fears actually enter. So it's not fear. That fear is what is caused by using this word, or this word causes fear in people, or people use this word because of fear. So the word is free. Don't use that word, especially if, like I said, if you are a new entrepreneur. The reason you don't want to use that word, and I am a great testament to this. I'm going to tell my story really quickly as to why I realized that free is the worst word you can use as an entrepreneur. And that is that 3 years ago, November of 2014, I left my corporate job. I had been in corporate for all my life. You know, I was a legal secretary for 20 years. I worked at 7 different law firms. It's not like I have a pension and I left my job and I had this cushy money coming in. Nope, zero money coming in. But my last job was working for a judge in the Court of Appeals. And when I left that job, I was making pretty good money. I was almost to 6 figures. I was so close to making 6 figures. And I quit that job to follow my dream and my passion. Now, I didn't know what I was going to be doing because I had to figure all that out. But I jumped that job, you know, and I just dove right into entrepreneurship. I had no idea what I was doing. So because I was new, didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know what value I had, everything was free. Because I thought, here's what I thought, is that if it's free, then they'll like what I do so much that they'll pay for it later. The contrary is what happened, you guys. The absolute opposite is what happened. So this last 3 years, well, I've been figuring out my life. I've been figuring out my purpose. I've been figuring out who I am, why I'm here. I've been figuring all this stuff out. And one thing I've discovered throughout this path is that I help people crush their fears so that they can make more money. But I was doing it for that four-letter word, free. I was doing it for free. I was doing it for free because I love it so much. It's my passion, right? It's what drives me. I love helping people, especially helping them work through whatever fears they're having so that they can go and do the things they should be doing. Well, I wasn't charging for it, so I wasn't making any money for it. So I was helping people make more money. Like one of my clients has increased her income by 400%. 400% in 1 year. What job are you ever going to receive a 400% raise in 1 year? No job. If there is one, tell me, because I'd love to know what that is. But what we had to do is work through some of the fears that she had, because the fears were what was stopping her from making that progression. The fears are what was stopping her from making more money. So we worked through all those fears. Now, she was actually charging something, not a lot. You know, now she's charging a lot more. But I did this for her for free. So what it got me is it got me this ability to help somebody and help them change their entire life. And I love that. I think that is amazing. But what has that done? This is what it has done. So this is where I got my notes. I got to make sure I mention these things. So the first thing is especially when you come out of the gate and you're brand new, a lot of people think, oh, I'm new, I don't have any credibility, I don't have any validity, nobody's going to pay for what I have. Well, that's not true. That is in your mind. It's in your mind. Because if you've already been doing what you're going to do for your business, then you actually already have helped people. Now, it might not have been as your business, but that doesn't mean it's not real. And that doesn't mean you didn't help somebody. You actually did. So whoever you helped can be a great testimonial for you. There could be a lot of people. I've helped a lot of people work through their fears. I just never thought of it as being something anybody might pay to help. So I never charged. Like, that's the reason I didn't charge. So the one thing is people get used to you not charging. Mine's been 3 years. Now I've gone through 3 years of giving away stuff for free. Giving away a lot of stuff, everything, basically, for free. Now, since I've been giving things away for free, hey Greg, you want to talk about the worst word an entrepreneur says, which is
I know what it is. It's free.
That's right, it's free.
Never say that word.
So here's what I got is because people get used to you not charging, and that's what's happened to me for 3 years, right? I'm not charging anything. He's always on my case.
I tell you what, a good word you can't say is complimentary, because usually it's complimentary to another product, good, or service in addition to, rather than standalone free.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, so it's like a compliment to the next thing. So anyway, the word free. So people get used to you not charging something, and then when you go to charge something, they're like, "Oh, I thought it was going to be free." And this is a situation that happened to me this week, and this is what helped me remember or realize. And he's always kicking my ass about it. You're not charging anything. You're not making any money, you know. And that one situation that happened when I said it's going to be this much money, and the person was like, "Oh, okay, never mind." Like, hello, I've been giving you free shit for 3 years, and now you're not wanting to pay anything. So what does that tell them? That, first of all, I devalued myself, and that gave them an opportunity to devalue me too. Since I didn't value me, they didn't value me. And so what has happened is I've kind of, would you charge for a consultation? Definitely. Joanne, you can charge, charge a minimal amount. Give 50% off, give 25% off, give 75% off, just charge something. Because when you're charging people, then they see that you have a value. And let's say, for example, I'll just give an example. Let's say your rate is $500 an hour. And you're like, you know what, I normally charge $500, but I'm going to give this consultation to you for whatever dollar amount you want to give. It doesn't matter, because you need to tell them what the value is. And then if you're going to give them like a discount on the first one, or whatever word you want, a complimentary, like he said, you can use complimentary as long as it's a complimentary upsell to something else. But you can definitely charge for consultations. I've taken consultations where I've had to pay. I've taken consultations, and I have paid for consultations, and I have also gone to free consultations. Here's the thing. The value was the same. I mean, I still got a lot out of the consultation, whether it was free or whether I paid. So the person who gave me the consultation for free, if you think about it, they didn't value their service enough to charge me something. So you think about money is just a weird energy in the first place, right? So I'm not only talking about like just money, but just your free time. You're giving away your time. Your time is the only thing in life that you will never get back. Hello, Jennifer Meme. You will never get your time back. So when you give away your time for free, you're giving somebody something. What are you getting in return? You have to think about that too. What are you getting in return for the stuff that you're giving away for free? Now, I can look back and I can say, I don't regret the last 3 years giving everything away for free because of the stuff that I've learned. And then I have people like Greg, my mentor, my case all the time about me giving away stuff for free. So I'm on your case right now. I'm telling you, you need to charge because, well, what if they don't want to work with me? Well, you know what? If you gave it away to them for free, they're probably not going to work with you anyway. Because a lot of times people who will only do something with you for free are those people who aren't willing to pay anyway. That's what I've been realizing, Linda. That's awesome, Joanne. I'm so excited because when you can make that connection, even if you charge $20, charge them something. They need a buy-in. If people don't have a buy-in to what you're offering them, then why are they going to go and institute whatever it is that you're giving them for free, right? So there's so many different concepts when it comes to money and how to exchange money properly and how to ask for what it is that your value is, what you're worth. Your value is whatever value you put on it. So don't let somebody else determine your value. So what happened to me this week, I'm going to share really quickly what happened to me this week. But before I do that, guys, one of the other ones, people get used to it. So here's sometimes what happens is, let's say, for example, Joanne, you give free consultations, and you've been giving free consultations, since you started your practice. Let's say, for example, now it's time for you to charge for your charge for your consultations. You might have this underlying fear, and it's a fear of rejection. Well, what if I tell them that it costs $60 for a consultation and they don't want to do it? Well, you know what? Here is the absolute truth about this, is that is no reflection on you. That's a reflection on them. That means they are not valuing themselves enough to invest. Let's say $60. I just keep saying $60. They're not valuing themselves enough to spend $60 on themselves. It's not that they're not valuing themselves to spend $60 on you. It has nothing to do with you at all, because they could go to the next person and still not pay the $60. But here's where it gets tricky, and here's where your mindset has to be very, very, very clear on who you are, what value you have to offer this world. Is because let's say that same person comes to you and you're like, it's $60 for a consultation, it's 1 hour consultation, and then they say, oh no, I can't afford it, I don't have the money. And then you see them and they go buy a nice pair of shoes, and let's say it costs them $65, $5 more than you were going to charge. They saw the value in those shoes more than they saw in spending time and learning and growing from you, because you're a coach, right? But you can't compare that. You can't get stuck in that, gosh, they didn't think that I was valuable enough. That's not the case. The case is they didn't think they were valuable enough. So that's something you have to really, really make sure that you're really clear on with that, okay? Let's see, fear of asking. So you've been doing free consultations for however long, and now it's time for you to start saying, oh yes, I'd love to do a consultation with you. It's $60, and we meet for 30 minutes, whatever it is that you come up with. You can do a 15-minute consultation and charge $10, $20, $30, whatever. It's whatever value you place on it. But make sure you always tell them how much it would cost if they pay full price. You have to tell them that. And you can say, but my consultation is this amount. You have to tell them that so they know that when you then say, okay, how can we move forward? Are you ready to work with me? They know it's $500 an hour, as my earlier example. So that's another fear that sometimes happens. So people have fear of rejection, right, around the free word. They have the fear of asking, like just asking for it and saying, okay, hey, I really love working. I want to work with you. I really want to help you with whatever it is that you're working on. So one of the things I do is I help people work through their fears. I'm a fear crusher. I'm going to help you crush those fears. So these are some of the fears that I've helped some of my clients with. And so I'd like to say, for example, I would say, okay, this is one thing I can help you with. Let's move forward. Are you ready to move forward? And I can say, it's $500 an hour. And this is what we're going to do. Like, these are the sessions we're going to go through, right? You know now that it's $500 an hour. Now you're going to, as the potential client, you're going to weigh and you're going to say, I have these fears, $500. I have these, and then you're going to weigh it. And you're going to say, I've had these fears for so long, and I know that if I crush this fear right here, that it's going to make me a lot more than $500. So it's worth that $500. Right? So it's our job as the provider of the service or the product that we have is to show people how investing in themselves through our product or service, how that is going to make them a lot more money than the money they spent. Now it's not always about money. Sometimes, like for example, I attended this event called CEO Space, and I've attended it several times now, but my very first time, it was very expensive. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much money. That's so much money. But within the first 4 hours of that event, I got my money back and then some. Now, it wasn't in a dollar exchange. What I got my money back in was growth, mental growth and heart growth. grew exponentially in that 4 hours. And I say, I would have paid a lot more money then. Okay, we're starting. I got to go. Okay, but you guys, get out there and stop saying things are for free. Start charging and make a difference in your life and make a difference in their life too. Let them value themselves and you value yourself. Have a great day. I'm at my mastermind, so I got to go. Bye-bye.